days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the comic relief crusader.
Hey, everybody, it's 2024. Welcome to a brand new episode of Titillating Tuesdays and to the Geekosphere. I hope that everybody are recovering from turkey comas and overindulging one's self with copious amounts of drinking and whatnot. And, even though it's January the 2nd, still doesn't matter. Still have to get over things as I am because I'm drinking copious amounts of black coffee right now. So not that I'm drunk. It's only because I need to wake up fervently at the moment. So, but I promise nothing. So, I hope everybody had fun over the New Year's. So, and here it is, the first show of 2024. It's going to be rather odd because next year, I guess it's going to be falling on the 1st. So I guess it'll be a January 1st Titillating Tuesday. But that's next year when we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So I want to thank everybody that's here today. Gap After Dark. Hey, dude, nice to see you here. Man, missed you. Hey, guys, hopefully I can stay awake. Haven't been feeling too hot and my sleep schedule is off kilter right now. Well, that's okay, dude. Hopefully we can maybe wake you up or, depending on how things go, lull you back to sleep. So, Wendy Trauma Warrior 6 head and looks around and finds that everybody is here. Hey, Wendy, how's it going? And we also got Resolute Germ. Hello to you, sir. Nice to see ya. Let's see. And who else we got in the chat? Oh, and we got, of course, Christian Delorme with a $5 Canadian super chat saying, I will always be the first. One thing to deal with, but titillating does not make me think of Tuesdays. Well, that's okay. So hopefully it brings other things to mind. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And that being said, let's welcome some panelists, shall we?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Pop
I was wondering who was going to be first after that. It's me. Hello.
It's you.
It's the first Titillating Tuesday of 2024. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. We all survived 2023.
Oh, goodness.
Here's hoping we survive 2024.
Yep.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just getting woke up after the food coma after the past few months, weeks. It's like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's just kind of roll into one another, and we Americans like to eat. Yeah. And we just go into food comas.
Oh my God. It's like hibernating.
It's like consume, spend money on Christmas presents.
Oh consume, my God.
Buy all the food. Buy and eat all the food.
Because because you never know there's a shortage that's ever going to happen. So you might as well
Yeah.
just consume as much as possible.
That's
I
it.
gained 25 pounds. I'm good for another 3 months.
Yeah, hibernation.
Geeky Classic leftist Tom, how's it going, man?
Going well, and Pop, don't worry, Canadians do that too. We like
Oh,
to
yes,
consume, and
yes.
so we're like putting on the weight, and it's like, oh no, where did that come from? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've
So,
got that New Year's Southern New Year's tradition of fried salt pork, collard greens, cornbread, black-eyed peas.
Oh my god, that
Oh,
sounds
Lord.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I'm
God.
hungry now.
the South.
Damn.
Admiral Teague, how's it going, bud?
Tig is muted.
Hey, how you doing? I hear that so Michelle Yeoh of Star Trek fame is officially now a GILF. She has a grandchild.
Oh,
Good
nice.
on her.
Yes, yes. News,
Yes.
breaking news. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
The fruit of her
There we go.
womb has borne fruit of its own.
Oh, nice. So,
Yes.
and
I
welcoming.
like it, I put it on.
Oh, there you go. And welcoming for the first time, we got Gabe from Comical Opinions and Weird Science. How's it going, Gabe?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate the invite to be on the stream. I'm the new guy, a guest. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the publisher and EIC of comicalopinions.com. It's a comic review site. We specialize in small and medium-sized and indie comic publishers. And I'm also the main contributor, writer for Weird Science, Marvel, and DC Comics. So if you want to talk comics, I'm your guy. So I'm thankful to be on the show. I'm happy to be talking with you guys, and I'm looking forward to a good time.
Yeah, awesome, man. Nice to have you here.
Yep.
Exactly.
So,
Cheers. Should be a
Yeah.
really
Welcome
good show.
Yep.
so
Great.
we're first show of 2024, and I did a members only stream last night, just kind of trying to muse over what I'm going to be trying to do in 2024, improve on the comic art, stuff
Missed
like
it by
that.
literally 1 minute. Fuck. How did it go, by the way?
Not too shabby. So I survived. I'm
Cool.
here. Yeah.
Is
So-
it your first? Is this your first one? No, it's like the third, right?
Well, no, of 2024. No, technically, this is the first live. For
No, I mean
everyone.
your member stream. Was this the first member stream? This is the second one, right? Or are you up to 3?
I don't know, probably up to 3. I'm not counting. All I know is I do them, and they're up there for members.
Yeah, still in exact science. Yeah, we'll have to put our heads together about how to do that. I'm still working on my approach for that one.
You can't have
Yeah,
him thinking
exactly.
when he's drinking coffee.
No, that's true too. So I still have to wake
Yes,
up.
yes.
Yeah, so first stream for everyone on the YouTubes here and on Rumble. So hey to everybody on Rumble as well.
Cheers, everyone.
As we
Hello.
always simultaneously broadcast on both. And yeah, so just going over things what I'm gonna try to do in 2024. Yeah, like I mentioned before, just try to improve on the comic art, because I do want to get my own, I suppose you could say, independent title out. Not that it's like, say, for example, a Comicsgate thing or anything like that. I just want to be able to put out something of my own, right? And
go after women, of course.
well, yeah, of course, that fame and fortune and all that kind of stuff.
Dude,
And,
it's
and
your,
not,
it's-
no, I didn't mean in a flirtatious way. I meant like this is our male propaganda here. We're gonna get even.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah,
get
yeah,
dressed,
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
no.
Bring the no, not dating. No, I mean advancing our cause. Advancing our
Right.
cause, free.
Yeah, I can't
That's
imagine that a certain woman
We're
would be
pretty
sitting behind him
sore.
shaking her finger.
We're
Exactly.
pretty
Yeah,
sore
that's
about
right.
a few things over here, and that's why we don't mind Comicsgate.
Hey, you're just following your dream, brother. I know it. I'm doing that too. That's all you got to do. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And try to get the shop going as much as possible, so I can work my way out of a job. And
Yeah.
and I don't know, maybe lose a couple of extra poundage because, dear God, like I said before, like we've all mentioned before, we ate copious amounts of food and stuff like that. So
Plus,
yeah,
if I can give you my 2 cents, getting older, we have to stay in better shape. I've noticed.
I know, right? It's
Like,
terrible.
I'm old now. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Gab After Dark. You do have a wife, Mike, so you can look but not touchy. No, that is true. Because as they say, hell hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And
She's
No,
awesome. I've known
I
your
know.
wife.
and we
I didn't mean anything about philandering. I was talking
no,
about
no, 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 no,
specifically
of course.
how we work together to make sure that women can't advance. Because I remember last week I needed a job, so I went to a place, Fortune 500 place, went inside. They said, "So you're absolutely not qualified." Not qualified. I said, "Look at all those women working in there," and they said, "All right, we'll fire a couple of them, and you can have their job." And that's the way I roll.
That's completely fair.
That's what I meant by going after women. Yeah, well, they put two of them in a pit and made them fight it out with rat tail combs.
Oh, well, yeah, then that's more than fair.
Rat
So,
tails. Wow.
anyway,
really was
as we like to do, as we're starting off
quite
2024,
exhilarating.
yeah,
Stupid
let's get
news.
into some stupid news. For some odd reason, that didn't go as planned, but that's okay. Anyway, so what we got in stupid news today?
Kind of
Let's see
appropriate
here.
considering the stupidity of the news, right?
Well, it's kind of
Well,
like, if
yeah,
I may
exactly.
just interject quickly, it's kind of like a dollar store Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance. That's like, ding, ding. If anybody remembers that, but he used fast breaking, and that
Yeah.
was like, ding.
Yeah,
So
instead
seeing
it's
how
like
the
it's a
holidays are over.
dwarf.
Yeah.
It's a dwarf with two pistols.
Yeah, exactly. So seeing how the holidays are over, little by little, some funny news is coming out of the UK. Seeing how the holidays are over and all that kind of stuff. So, this came out. I believe it was from the Star in the UK, or Daily News Talk. Emma Ryan calls on Irish radio stations to avoid playing "Driving Home for Christmas" this festive period, claiming the song glamorizes and promotes car use.
Good for him.
What?
How else does he expect? Yeah. Yeah.
Hell?
No, I mean, I am a cranky person. I know how to be hold a grudge, and I know how to get unreasonably angry. But this guy, just like he said, like, give me those stereotypes about Irish intolerance, and I'll take them to a whole new level. I bet you also has like a like, I'm raising money to stop parades down Main Street. They depress me. The one that really depresses me most is the children's wish fund. Where they send a kid to Hollywood or wherever for fantasy camp. Yeah, like, don't start the Cancer Kid Foundation. That's just depressing. We don't need them here taking up part.
All I'm going to
space
say
in our
about this
park.
guy is just blah, 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 blah. Okay, enough said.
Yeah, he might just be
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. How else does he expect people to get home? I don't know. Walk, use the old magic thumb there for hitchhiking or something like that. Haven't there been
Well, that's
those
his
ideas?
new
Slide
pushing
down-
to get rid of gas vehicles in a few years or whatever, supposedly.
Oh,
Don't you
yeah,
know
that's right.
in Ireland, everyone keeps a pot of gold in their house, and there's rainbows connecting all of them. You just slide from pot of gold to pot of gold. It's like transporter technology.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, you just follow the rainbow to the pot of gold. It's also why GPS
Just give me
doesn't-
Lucky
no one uses
Charms.
it. The country that uses GPS less than any other, Ireland. They don't need it. They live in the future.
Because
They don't drive anywhere for Christmas.
oh, that could be, yeah. So, I don't know.
I'd buy
There's a
helicopter
reason why
flights.
we invented cars, because it gets us to places faster than, I don't know, horse and buggy, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining, like Intercourse, Pennsylvania, where like the Pennsylvania Dutch and Amish live, and like how they take like the little horse and buggy around. It's like, does he expect everybody's like, well, it's Christmas, better bring out and hitch up the Clydesdales, the one time a year that we use. Like, what the hell is this guy advocating for? He's like, I've been watching The Walking Dead, and I think their society is superior to ours.
That could be. Gabe, what do
Where's
you
it coming
think?
from?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was kind of funny.
It has boggled
If
the mind
anything-
of people.
Oh goodness, glamorizes and promotes car use. Everyone should walk everywhere because
That's right.
walking is good for you. It's cardio. You gotta burn those pounds after eating all the festivity meals and whatnot.
Exactly.
So you eat to reckless abandon over the holidays. So you have to walk miles and keep walking miles until you burn it all off.
Now, this
There
is
you
coming
go.
from a person
I
for
get
me
that.
that doesn't actually
Uh-huh.
drive. I can't afford it and I have bad eyes, but I just did no. People still need to drive. Our society's used to driving. Stop it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been to
Maritime
Ireland.
accent.
Yeah, I've been to Ireland
What's
myself.
that again?
You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere with by walking or riding a bike. Ireland is a pretty spread out place. So
Yeah.
if he's expecting
Yeah.
people to stop driving cars, he's in for a rough time.
Yeah, it would seem like he's talking
Yeah,
about like
exactly.
the Pennsylvania of Europe as far as the convenience of getting around by bicycle. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound like it's like well laid out for it. But
No, exactly.
Foggy, I mean, geeky leftist. It's a maritime accent, not a Scottish accent. But since it sounds enough like Scotsman to people who grew up on Scotty from Star Trek, would you recite some of the words for 500 miles when we talk about how far you would need to walk? Because you've got the voice for it. Would
Bloody
you
hell.
walk 500 miles? And would you, in fact,
I
walk
would walk
500 more?
500 miles. I would walk 500 more. No, anyway. Good song. Great song.
Oh my, yeah, there you go. And you know what?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got two guys walking 1,000 miles. That's 2,000 miles. And I guess that's what this guy wants. Although he is Irish, not Scottish. You get the idea.
Exactly.
I get it. Yes.
We tried. It's like a
Yep.
poetry. It comes
I
back to it.
also want to say, hail to Phantom Boomer Explorers. Howdy,
Hello.
dude. And nice to see
Hello.
you here. And we also got Melted Copper that's also here. Hey, man, nice to see you. And yeah, I just thought this was just hilarious. Just hilarious. Let's see, what was the other thing that I found there? Oh, well, yeah. So because we know the current state of well, let's just say Gen Z, I suppose, and you know, how everything is kind of like, you know, oppressive, and you know, there's just too many choices out there, and everybody's like suffering from terrible anxiety, just terrible. This from the Business Insider.
Kids.
Oh, I know. Gen Zers are suffering from menu anxiety, and some are scared to order their own food at restaurants. A new survey finds an overwhelming 86%
too many women to believe it's new. I can't believe this is new.
of Gen Zers have struggled with menu anxiety when ordering at a restaurant. Oh, God.
Oh,
Really?
come on.
Oh, and
I'm-
Saber the Doom Squirrel. How's it going, man?
I'm going to step in here. Hold on. I'm going to step in for a sec.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead.
I've had friends
Tom.
that have kids, and I know one that have a daughter that's 13. She's smarter than that. So I wondered. I sometimes think they conflate these things. Like, yeah, yeah.
I can't paint that generation with a broad brush because they're not all the same.
Yeah, some of them are highly intelligent and actually want to go back to the old ways and hate the new ways of the society and stuff. But some of them are like, yeah, dumb as post. So it's kind of
walking up mentally on the menu, something I've seen a few women do on a few different dates. This is not uncommon. People sometimes just get a mental block looking at the menu.
Oh yeah. I do that when I look at the prices.
You order the cheeseburger every time. Well done.
Yeah.
It's order everything.
Therefore,
anxiety solved.
Depending on what restaurant, I already know what I want.
Come
generally,
your way out of it. Be like, bring me a shrimp cocktail while I decide. I want to eat like Jabba the Hutt for the next hour.
Yeah, if I was a waiter, it would be easy. I would suggest the grilled cheese sandwich. Simple, cheap,
or with bacon.
Grilled cheese and bacon.
Or how about this one? If I was the customer, how about this? Well, since I do plan on tipping, I'd just like to know this: what's the hardest to clean up? I want coleslaw, seafood cocktail. I want shrimp.
Yeah.
I want lobster. I want and I want a salad. And I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, that's easy.
Let me. Can I add to this quickly? Just to go on to this. Something irked me a couple days ago. Like a little extra, you could say. What is it with these new Uber Eats? You have to tip before they even get to your house. Like they take the tip out of your. That's stupid. And some of them aren't delivering the things if you don't tip. I'm like, no, that's
is that their motto? Just the tip.
Yeah, it's they're just anyway. but no, it's a new thing happening with these Uber Eats and all that stuff. They won't deliver your food unless you tip them. Like that's not right. I mean, if they do a good job, I'll tip them. But no. It seems to be
Gab
a new
After
thing.
Dark. Gen Z should just order the climate change meal and be done with it.
But like I said, I know some of them are not into that.
Made, that's any seafood, right? Because that's like the most renewable kind of food and doesn't take any toll on land resources.
Yeah.
Well, it cuts down on cow farts and cow burps.
So. Well, yeah, they want us to eat bugs here soon, so yeah.
I once again challenge them. Why not cover these things with other recyclables that we can't use? Right, the millions of yards, millions of miles. We could probably cover the earth with the vinyl bottles we make every year, right? Geodesic domes over these cow pastures, right? Let the cows have some freedom of ingress and egress, but keep most of it inside. Let it be greenhouse-like so that grass can grow in there and just filter the air on the way out. That to me seems, if this is a real threat, where is the answer in a growth industry? If this is a problem that was created by capitalism, then capitalism can solve it. I mean, this should be looked at if it's real. First of all, like, show me that it's real. If this is a real thing, there's money to be made here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Phantom Boober Explorers, bugs with fish sauce, please. Yum. Might as well. So, Gabe, what do you think?
I think I just described a factory farm with filters on it, but
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've never had a problem with a menu, and the fact that you have an entire the fact that you have an entire generation that is experiencing anxiety for anything other than the threat of physical violence and harm makes me sad. Makes me sad down in my soul.
It does.
Do you walk in knowing what you want to want? Who walks in knowing what they want? Right.
Again, I'm going to stand up, and some Gen Zs actually seem to want change. They want things to go back the way they were. They want the old ways in the 50s, which is good. And some of them are smart, and it's like, okay, they want the old ways back. But you get a lot of them that follow social media and stuff. They're like, so lost. It's just,
Yeah, exactly. Stop following other people. Make up your own mind. Whatever you feel peckish for, just order it. And then if you want to try something different on the menu, then go another time. It's as simple as that, right?
Maybe, or take that chance. Order that extra thing. I mean, if it doesn't cost too much, hey.
That's right. So, it's as simple as that.
Or be like me and just simply live on marzipan, the only kind of food that I eat.
There you go. Yeah, I had some of that actually a couple of days ago. Oh my God, I miss that stuff.
I only eat marzipan.
What is
Thank
that?
you, Germans.
I've heard of it. I've never
it's
had
like an almond.
It's like an almond paste that's thick enough to mold into shapes.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly. It's on cake. It's on cake. They use it for cake topping a lot.
Okay, I've heard of it. Yeah.
You usually add a lot of sugar to it. Yeah. I just have a tube of it. I have tubes of it like toothpaste that I squeeze into my mouth during the day and eat.
Oh, nice.
I don't actually consume normal food. Yes, I just have a case of marzipan tubes here.
I used to do that with frosting. You get the things of frosting, you just scoop it out and eat it for the spoon.
It gives me more time to do other things.
That's true. Phantom Boober says, yeah, bring back trepanning. The old ways were best.
Oh, he's talking about trepanning. That's when you relieve pressure on the brain by cutting a hole in the skull.
Yeah, exactly. So
trepanation. Yeah. You know what? Not the worst idea. I mean, I'm not saying that we're giving medical advice. So I'll probably do not try this ancient Egyptian medical technique at home.
Yeah, no. So have a licensed idiot do it. So anyway, so a couple of days ago, to end of 2023, I watched Aquaman 2.
Oh, you actually went to the theater?
When she shot, was it ropey or did she have normal?
Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
We'll put it that way. Yeah. Sure. It did.
When Mira shot, was it ropey like fish shit, or was it just normal turds?
You know what? I'm not going to say it was bad, but I'm not going to say it was good. It was kind of like in the middle. It was more middle ground, I thought. It was not bad.
I just don't want to see her, but I heard there's too much of her in the film.
Well, no, I wouldn't exactly say that. So
okay.
there was just enough. Let's put it that way. So
Contextually, from the trailer, she seemed to just be spending the movie just in jeopardy, and it was whether she was going to get out or not of whatever situation she's in, right?
Yeah, that's true. So
she may not even need to talk for the way I saw the role in the trailer.
True. So that's from Cosmic Book News. Aquaman 2 box office obliterates the Marvels. Well, this actually probably isn't no surprise whatsoever. But
women
you know
wanted to see him without his shirt.
Well, yeah, and they didn't exactly get that wish. So, well, maybe
no, really,
that's about it.
He's got to be bare chested. There's no point in a Jason Momoa movie where he's not. Where's his other movies?
Where's all the movies?
I don't think
no.
he was
What
bare
I'm saying
chested.
is where are his other movies? He's only known for this role, and maybe he's been in a movie here and there, but I don't think he's done much else.
Oh no! I mean, you look at it. He's been Game of Thrones. That was when he really broke out to notoriety, and then he's done,
exactly.
And quite a few things.
And hail, Das Wolfen. Nice to see you, man. Great to have you here.
Hey, buddy.
So,
good to see you.
let's just say that when it comes to this movie, it's essentially, him playing him. That's all I can say.
I'll watch it when it comes out on streaming. I will download it. That's a given. Because
She's pretty, but as pretty as she is, I think I'd rather spend the day hanging out with Jason. Just like, okay, bro, let's just get some beers. We'll talk some fucking football. He seems like he'd be relatable. Like I'm a little afraid of a day with Brie Larson.
No, that's true. So, as the article goes, sorry, MCU fanboys, the Aquaman 2 box office has now passed the Marvels by a large margin. So,
as if that was a hard thing to do.
That was very fast.
Yeah, that's a low target to set right there.
No, that
was very fast too. This movie's not out that long.
It was. DC's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is now up to $258.7 million on a budget of only $205 million. So while the Marvel stalled out at only $205 million on a budget of $275 million, some might speculate probably over $300 million. Both flicks actually have had the same domestic box office, around $84 million, but it's the international audience that makes up the big difference. So Aquaman 2 has a foreign box office of $173.6 million, while the Marvels bombed with $121 million. So, I mean, like I said before, no huge surprise there. Like I said before, when I watched the Marvels, like the musical number around the middle of the film, it's like, oh God, please no. It was just so ultimate cringe.
They go in there and do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah, like you said, these are already not likable people, and then you're like, suspend your disbelief long enough for this crazy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah. Like Das Wolfen says, yeah, that was a pretty low bar. Yeah, it was a very low bar. But Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom also get a boost from its China release, of all places, go figure, with $33.7 million, while the Marvels only made half that at $15.2 million. I can recall more than one Marvel fan online commenting on how the Marvels opening box office beat Aquaman 2. Well, how'd that work out for you? So Aquaman 2 only saw a 20...
It's at a battered movie shelter right now, getting cinematic therapy.
Pretty much.
Did the audience?
Yeah,
did they review bomb you? Is that what happened? I wanted to be a good movie, but I had Johnny Depp say that I was going to suck. Did he review bomb you? Is that what he did? Yeah, he plays a certain board game. It's not Parcheesi, is it? No, and it's not Monopoly. It's Yahtzee, isn't it? That's what he is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Aquaman 2 only saw a 29.6% drop from week 1 to week 2. The Marvels, however, it's the worst opening performing superhero movie of all time, dropping a massive 78.1%. Oh, gee, who couldn't have seen that coming? I don't know who.
The only reason it's hard to see it coming was because it didn't start out at any height that it was going. You know what I mean? Like dropping off from where? And that movie has been out for a while now. The Marvels. We're talking like this is what weekend 5?
Yeah. Or
weekend forever from how it feels like it's been out forever.
Yeah,
it's reporting that the first weekend it hit it hit 258 million worldwide total with 19.5 second this weekend.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2 makes 9, but that is a pretty big drop off because it's what? This is only weekend 3 for this one, or is this weekend 2?
Let's see. This would be weekend 2 because this came out around Christmas time.
Yeah.
For Aquaman.
Yeah. That means that this movie made just about $230 million. But I have a funny feeling weekend 1 started like Thursday. You know what I mean? Like Thursday at 3 p.m. Like, all right, this is the week. So they had like a 5-day weekend. So as bad as this drop off looks, and it's substantial. This is 20% of what they made less. I mean, this is
exactly
18% of the first week gross. Might be an 82% drop, but not so bad as the Marvels, which let's see what that did at all. I'd be surprised if it's at 258 million at all. I think it's past it in total, and I think what it's doing now is just having its way with it at the box office. 46 million on its opening weekend, so it like 1/5 of what Aquaman was able to do. Aquaman had an okay opening weekend and has grossed 84.4 in the US and Canada with 121.2 worldwide for the Marvels. So this movie doubled it up in 2 weeks in half the time. This movie's a lot more powerful. Zaslav looks better.
It does. You know, and for all of you that are kind of wondering out there, because there have been news, like I reported earlier last year, I suppose you can say it now, that Amber Heard would be in the movie, and it is significantly cut. She shows up in, I would say, the first quarter of the movie, and then pretty much like the last quarter of the movie, only because it has to do with Aquaman's son, partially in the whole storyline of things. So, and of course with Mira, or Amber Heard, of course, being mom, you have to kind of put her in there someplace, basically, right? So you kind of do have to add her in there.
For this movie, though, that strange place seems to be like in a pocket dimension or some kind of crystal ball or portal that she's trying to punch her way out of, and it seems like she shows up to be in jeopardy and left on the shelf, and then we go back, circle back, and hopefully delete her, or they go back and she's magically Amelia Clark.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, it's all done. She's done, and thank goodness.
Yeah. So for a closing out of the former DCU, it's like I said before, it's not a bad movie, right? It's pretty much an okay movie. Let's put it that way, right?
It should be streaming by the end of the month, I think they said. So I'll be checking it out then. Just same with, I am going to check the Marvels out. I want to check it out. I heard it wasn't the worst thing in the world either. So I'll watch them both because I'm torturous and I'm a geek. So why not? But yeah.
You sadist, you.
I am.
Yeah. Gabe, have you seen Aquaman 2?
I have not seen Aquaman 2. I did recently rewatch the first one just to kind of get myself reacclimated to the story. And I have to admit that I was not a fan of the first one. I know it was $1 billion movie. I know there was a lot of people that are kind of invested in that film simply because it's part of the Snyderverse, and it's very much the holdover from the prior iteration of the DCEU. But the more I watched, the more I just, the word that keeps coming to mind is corny. It's just sort of a corny film. There's a lot of guitar riff posing. Some of the action is just big, loud, and for its own sake. And if you're looking for, I think of all the characters that Snyder cast, he didn't do it all by himself. But if you look at all the people that he cast in these sort of roles for what he wanted to flesh out within the Justice League, I think just for my money, Momoa is the most deeply miscast, right next to the Flash. I think Momoa is always to me Momoa has always been a Lobo kind of character, and I think he fits on that perfectly. He's just not Aquaman in any iteration that even seems remotely familiar. And so for me, it's just it doesn't make sense. He doesn't fit, and he's just playing himself as a biker dude bro. That has never been Aquaman, and I don't know why. I don't know why anybody thought he would fit in that role. And so I got past the first film, which was sort of corny and loud and very sort of bombastic, but for its own sake. And that really
and don't forget he fucks over those crab people when he massacres them at the end too. They just the movie doesn't really acknowledge it, but he fucks them over completely. He fucks them over completely. The movie just moves on like it's no big deal.
There's just not a lot there's really not to invest in with the first film. There's really not a lot to invest in if you're a DC fan in the first film. And so, and just with all the nonsense and the the online problems associated with the Snyderverse is just really knowing that this is the end. This is the cap. Right. And I haven't seen the film, but I did see the post-credit scene with Orm, and that's I don't know who thought that was a good idea. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but man, that is a terrible idea. Just to kind of say this is the end of the DCEU. This is the end of the Snyderverse, and to have that scene be the post-credit scene that just puts the pin on the board to say this is how we're going to say goodbye was just sort of just awful. It's just really awful, and I'm not sorry to see it go.
Was it Lois Lane dies and Superman turns into Super Hilter like he always does?
I would say it is a very small scene. It is a very small scene. It's a very small in the sense that it's a throwaway scene, and it focuses on not any of the characters that are part of the main Justice League. It focuses on a side character, and he does something that's just dumb, and then you just like that's it, and then you just walk away.
All I want to say is every iteration of the Snyderverse, when we saw the future, at some point, human being Lois Lane dies, and Superman turns into Super Hilter, and he just starts like burning people. He turns into Homelander. In every version of the Snyderverse, it was a nightmare Batman verse. It was a nightmare Superman verse. We had like the Batman Corps fighting we had the worst added Joker scenes ever. Jared Leto just never had anything to work with. Like he's a good actor, but him as the Joker.
Actually,
what did he do?
Can I say, did you see that post-credit scene with him as the Joker with his hair down? They were in the desert. That was actually not a bad scene. I liked him in that one, but the other ones were crap. Yeah. But
I'd be willing to bet that he doesn't say anything in it then.
No, he actually says a bit, but it's like more the traditional Joker, but they didn't use that in the other one. That's when he's sitting on the hood of the car and they're waiting for Superman to come get them. It's like the dream sequence.
That was
it's
written
really
by
cool scene. Check it out.
Someone else.
Well, I can't speak to Lois Lane dying, but if they had a post-credit scene where Cavill came back as Superman and he killed Jesse Eisenberg's version of Lex Luthor, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah,
that would be, I'm okay with that as a short film. I'll pay half admission to go see that at the theater. It's like it's only 8 minutes long, but
I'll just quickly just say this if I can. Going on to what you were saying there, Gabe. I agree. Terrible version. I think he's going to do an amazing Lobo. I think they should have used and the guy we talked about. Remember the guy who wants to play Batman now? He was in he was in Titans.
Reacher.
He was actually
Alan Richmond or something.
Yeah, he was Aquaman.
That guy would be good.
He actually played Aquaman in Smallville.
He was Aquaman in Smallville. That's right.
And it was good. I liked that version. I was like, I like this. So,
he was a lot smaller.
They never got
Wendy Trauma Warrior says the only reason I saw the first one in theaters was because my nephews wanted to see it. Neither are interested in seeing Aquaman 2, thank God. Melton Copper says, I heard before Root shoots, the baby dies. I hope Aquaman would lose his hand and the kid and it would be and it would have been like Empire in the comics. He loses his hand. Das Wolfen also says the only part of the Marvels that was remotely enjoyable was Miss Marvel parts. I gotta agree with you there.
Cool.
So many people saying that, I think that what happened was everyone went into this movie knowing there's going to be a problem, and she's not like mean-spirited in her public statements, and she's kind of like seems overall in general to be pleasant, and also they seem to have substantially changed how she looks. Like she's a lot prettier than we've seen. Like there was a lot of confusion and anger, right? When she showed up on the red carpet looking like the beautiful 21 or 22-year-old that she is, and people were like, you're sexualizing her. And it's like, no, she only plays a child. She's
The only thing I hated is they
22.
didn't have to give her the stretch abilities. That's what I didn't like. I wanted the stretch.
Yeah, that was
They,
kind of
they
weird.
do not
Now, I
respect where
gotta
any of
say,
these characters came from.
now I gotta say this though, in Aquaman and of course Aquaman 2. Now, the guy that plays his brother, I think he would have been better suited to play the Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman. Yeah, I agree.
Because he
actually.
looks
Mhm.
more
Yep.
traditional like Aquaman.
Yeah,
he
that's
does.
just
My
my
only
take on it.
comment on Aquaman 2 is it should be called Aquaman TOO. It's like, yeah, it's Aquaman 2. Like, you got
Yeah.
another Aquaman. How long is it?
It's
long.
about 2 hours. Yeah.
It's
So,
not. Okay, do they go? They don't go fumbling into like the 3 and okay, so it's un-Snyder like in that sense, and it's
Yeah.
not Zach.
I mean,
is it?
because
I
you know,
know.
if you can see here, you know, Jason Momoa, yeah, he's like
Bingo.
the edgy 90s Aquaman, right? While the
Yeah.
one that plays his brother is actually looks more like a traditional Aquaman.
Aquaman, 100%.
Man,
I-
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but Zack
does.
Snyder was
Yeah.
he cast edgy man. That's always going to be his first.
He wanted
choice
the
in
new
every
version
role.
of Aquaman that was in the comics at the longer hair. But like I said, he's going to be a perfect Lobo. If they do go that
Mhm.
direction, he's going to kill it as Lobo. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, totally 100%.
Yeah, if he bulks
So-
up a lot more, I think, because Lobo is pretty muscular.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. But there's always CGI.
Why don't we just
to
give
make
him
him
Love
look
and
Oh,
Thunder
yeah.
Arms? Yeah, we could give him Jane Foster's Love and Thunder Arms. I could have him in about an hour.
Yeah, there you go. So, but you know, hey, I'm not saying it's a win for DC by any means, but Aquaman 2 is the last movie of the DCEU and is basically meaningless. Oh wow. So the Marvels is just an
Wow.
awful film, and that proves no one is interested in those characters. Jason Momoa will continue on as Lobo in the James Gunn DCU, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Well, if they show up
That is so
again, it's guaranteed to be
confusing.
another ratings disaster. No, that's true, right? So
That is so
Aquaman,
confusing too.
it
Like, he's
is.
just going to come back as someone else after. So we've closed the door and shuffled. I mean, they don't even have like a multiverse. Just like, yep, he's back. It's like on Star Trek where it's like Mr. Leslie is also Mr. Desal, who just like dies every couple of weeks, and we see him again. He's like, "Yes, sir, Captain." It's like,
It's
we've
kind of
lost
like
another
bringing back
red shirt.
Coulson all the time from Shield. Yeah. Is he dead? No, he's not really dead. We just bring him back and operate on his brain and stuff like that. Oh,
But
is
it's
he
not
dead
him.
now?
Is
No,
it
we'll
him?
just make him a robot, right? So,
Right.
They
Just
had a
transfer his
marathon of the-
consciousness to our robot.
And I liked his
Well,
character,
exactly,
but it's
right?
like, yeah, dumb.
I
Yeah.
watched Avengers 1 and 2 last night, and
Yep.
I think I tweeted a little about this. Like, they have really just circled back, either carelessly in some cases or on purpose in others, to really
Yeah.
fuck up and self-own that movie. Now Loki's a dippy idiot that no one has any right to lose to. They are all fucking
Yeah.
losers as well. We've seen everybody on screen humbled over and over. Black
Yeah.
Widow, she's like the biggest idiot of all empowered people. I was waiting for her to break her own nose. It was too much. And like when I watched
It
Avengers
was.
1, like no, I mean Avengers is 1. It's like it's really good. And like there's a part with Tim Hiddleston is in Germany and he takes that guy's eye out. And like, this is
Yeah.
so awesome. And he's like, Neil. And I'm like, then all of a sudden I remember him crying while I watches the video, and I'm like, oh God, it's just wokey, fucking
But
stupid asshole.
Aquaman
Female
and the Last
Loki could do
Kingdom
it
is now
better.
obliterating the Marvels on the dailies. So it would be interesting to see exactly where Aquaman 2 ends its box office run. So Disney called the Marvels quits basically after a month that it opened, right? So, you know, here are the Aquaman 2 dailies. So on December 22nd, on day one, it made $13,700,000. So day two, another 9 million. Day 3, 5.
24.
Yeah. So
9.
you know, it
Mm.
seems to be going and going and going. You know, I'll bet a little bit here and there.
It's
In
not
the
doing
millions.
horrifically. I guess
Yeah,
screen time
it's-
has something to do. How many screens it's on has something to do with it. Like if it's on 2,600 or 5,000.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. At this point, right now, it's weird to say that this movie's really beating up on Godzilla, but Godzilla didn't cost any money.
No, exactly.
Right,
And at a
right,
fraction
And
of the
by
cost.
next, I would say by this weekend, Godzilla will be tied again with this movie. And by next weekend, this movie will be wishing it was doing as good as Godzilla. Because I see possibly up to 3 more weeks in the lifespan of the Godzilla release. If they keep going, what is every week it's been? If it keeps doing good, we'll keep it out another week. And every week it keeps doing good because every theater fills up on this one. Exactly. I don't know what the response is for this. Like, it'll be on a lot less screens soon if it doesn't really keep going. And with that drop off, I mean, that's a lot.
But what's interesting to note is if you look at the box office mojo numbers, Aquaman 2 is just slightly behind the Marvels on domestic. So
it looks like Marvel had a better day one.
Yeah, the Marvels ended at 84 million or almost 85 million for domestic. Aquaman 2 right now is about 81 million, almost 82. So it's a couple million behind, but they're on par. It's in the international where it makes a big difference. The Marvels only had 121 million, but Aquaman right now is 173 million. It's way ahead on international, which indicates that in the international offices like China, India, all the different countries that you can imagine, they were just absolutely not interested in the Marvels, but they were a lot more interested in Aquaman 2.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. So the numbers speak for themselves. It is rather interesting.
It's gonna generate a great deal of money. It's just hard to say whether it's going to generate enough money to be profitable. It looks like they'll be able to get out of this one with their company intact. Like this might have been
better than the Flash.
Like we didn't lose money
better than
for
a Flash.
change.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
But I mean, like I said, if you're interested to see how it pans out, the end of I suppose you can call it the Snyder DCU. Like I said before, it's not terrible. It's not great. It's more in between.
It's a popcorn watch.
It is.
Yeah.
If you got a few hours to basically waste, that's essentially it.
Yeah.
Now, can I add to that though quickly? I don't think it's the end because now there's bigger talk now because it turns out Rebel Moon is doing so good. Netflix might officially try to reboot it and get it. They want to finish the story. They want the Dark Side story told. And Snyder said, "I'll do it if you can get the original cast." So it's I know, Tig. Quiet, Tig. Leave it. I'm looking forward to it. Dark Side was awesome.
Oh no.
Maybe it will be better. I mean,
Dark Side looks
shot.
badass. Like Dark Side Dark Side is more powerful than Thanos too as a character. So
yeah.
Did everybody see Rebel Moon? I'm the new guy. So
yep, I did.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I have not seen Rebel Moon. I knew I was able to say ahead of time that Zack Snyder would claim it was incomplete and more had to come out. I said that, and God damn it, I was right.
And they did. What's the Cyborg's name again? The actor Cyborg.
We're not allowed to get that name unless we give Zach $100,000.
But he was in that Rebel Moon as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And a cool character.
Oh, Ray Fisher.
Fisher.
Yeah. Okay.
Zach,
I didn't even know.
He was the guy with the dreadlocks. He was the guy with the dreadlocks that died.
This is his first movie since the movie where he plays
Cyborg,
Miles Dyson's son, Terminator. He's basically the Terminator. Miles Dyson makes him,
well, Cyborg is a powerful character in the DC universe. People forget how powerful he can be.
He deserved his own origin movie. That movie was messed up.
Well, no, the Zack Snyder version actually was kind of his origin movie to an extent. They really concentrated on him more, I find.
Why does Superman resurrect in a different place from where they buried him? I'm just curious.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
No, we're going to finish the story now. This story is so worthy of telling of the Snyderverse, where everyone's traits match their job so well, like Perry White.
No. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, God.
Moving
Perry
right
White.
along.
Homicidal Batman. You want to talk?
No.
There you go. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, Gabe. He goes on his Perry White rant every once in a while, and then we just have to silence him. So
is it a general
Man of Steel?
Is it a general dislike for the character, or is it dislike for Florence Fishburne as Perry White?
I like Lawrence Fishburne, but I hate his iteration of the character. It is a news-hating idiot who's never seen the bat signal from Gotham, which we know you can do, from Metropolis. Like he's never been down by the river and just seen it. It's like, there ain't no Batman, Kent. And he's like, I'm pretty sure there is, sir. It's like, I've never watched a game versus the Gotham Bats, and I don't know anything about them. I only watch Metropolis Mets baseball.
Yeah, Ray said it best. Let's cut the rant off quick. We love you, Pete.
I'll just, if I could add in my 2 cents, I like Lawrence Fishburne. I didn't mind him as Perry White, but I would put him in this. I would put him in the same bucket as Henry Cavill. Is he was given poor material to work with. You give him a better script, and I think he would have gotten a better Perry White.
I agree
Absolutely.
With that. Same with Henry.
You were talking about a very, very gifted actor with Lawrence Fishburne. He's really good.
Big time.
And what does Zack Snyder have him doing? In other news, crime wave in Gotham. In other news, water wet. He was like,
here we go again.
Almost,
Oh no!
No, but I mean, he's so off his game in that movie. It's almost like he's aping Billy D. Williams. His performance in John Wick 4 is like back.
And then we're going to go into a rant about how was it Metropolis looks like Gotham and Gotham looks anyway.
Yeah,
exactly. They look the same, but you know what? Joel Schumacher gave us a better Gotham. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's right. Melted Copper. Yeah, clearly Superman had a prequel story of grave robbers. Yeah, true.
We go out of our way to show where he's buried, and we show. No, I mean we go out of our way to show that we've made a big show of getting Clark Kent's body to the Kent family grave, and there's some sort of like really dumb. So, did they just kill someone else? And like. What? Like no one else was like, hey, did you notice that one of the missing people was Clark Kent, reporter who looked just like Superman? I mean, there's so many problems with the Snyderverse. Just cut the story off. Just end it.
Anyway, Mike.
End it now.
Okay, and that's all we got for the Prairie.
I'll add in that a lot of if you're the type of person that likes to sit there and dissect BVS, and I'm one of those people. You'll see almost all the exact same problems in Rebel Moon. It is a conglomeration of ideas that don't come together in a clear, cohesive narrative flow. So if you like Snyder because of BVS, you'll like Rebel Moon. If you hate Snyder because of BVS, you're going to hate Rebel Moon because it's all the same stuff. All the same problems and all the same good stuff.
I'm spitting out marzipan in disgust. I'm just glad someone agrees with me, though.
Yeah, it's so many lifted ideas from other movies that are leagues better.
Well, like I said, it looked like Star Wars, Seven Samurais, and a couple other ones. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
I'm okay with people ripping off Star Wars at this point, though, because Star Wars can't do it right. But my problem is, like, Zack Snyder, the crazy things he says. Like, wasn't his last quote, he doesn't understand why people don't want to work with Amber Heard, can't wait to do it again. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Really looking forward to
James Gunn, though.
And when we get Rebel Moon Part 2, right? It's not really Rebel Moon Part 2. It's not Chapter 2. It's Chapter 1.1 with the corrections and it's I bet you'd be an hour of nothing but added slow-mo with no more dialogue.
I mean, Rebel Moon is really 2 movies crammed together that don't belong together. And the Seven Samurai piece just didn't get enough time to develop. And then what you do have is you have this Maria Botella, who is this sort of reluctant hero with a checkered past. Her story was just she's miscast for what they're trying to do with her. And then
I 100% agree.
She's lovely, and she can act, and she's done that before. But you're not going to have a 100-pound soaking wet female who's going to do an overarm bench press of 2 soldiers that are doing the downstroke on her. She's throwing guys across the room. One arm. That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
If she had it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, no matter how short. Yeah, no matter how short her hair gets, she's not going to get stronger.
No, because we mentioned that before because what they should have done. She's not using their version of the Force.
Because what they should have done is cast somebody like we mentioned before, somebody like
Gina Carano.
Like Carano body type, 100%. Right? Because that would be more believable.
You would have had a much better time if you had said, well, she was part of the what do you call the Imperial Guard or whatever the name of the army is. If she was like cybernetically enhanced, or she was genetically altered to be stronger, or something like that. But they never they never developed that in her character, and so you just sort of say, oh well, she's been trained really well, so now she's super strong. And it just doesn't work. It looks ridiculous on the screen.
Yeah. Plus, you had the leader of the army pretty much kidnap her as a child and raise her up, much like Thanos
with Gamora.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I see
it's
you're a
all
mighty
these.
little warrior. Let me train you up and slaughter millions of people.
Yeah, all these traits, all these other tropes we've seen in other movies.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
I
maybe
liked
not so
it, but I'm
perfectly
on.
balanced, huh? Isn't she also 41 and playing 19? Isn't there a bunch of contrarian things about the lead?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. Possibly.
I mean, she's a lovely person. She's a beautiful woman, but she the role that needed to, the person you needed to fill in that role and the way that role needed to be built out doesn't match her. And that's
it doesn't.
It's another casting misstep. It's another Zack Snyder casting misstep.
Yeah. And maybe a little Matrix 3-ish, huh?
Maybe, but at least with the Matrix, you can get away with doing the acrobatics and the super strength and all that stuff. But here, they never put that in. So her physical presence doesn't make sense.
They could have said something as simple as you're a human-looking alien, but you have 3 times their strength, and then boom, we're set. But he's not smart enough to enable his script. That's the Zack Snyder I remember. And thanks for the validation, by the way. Like the Perry White rant, it's illustrative of all of his characters never have the traits to fit their jobs. And it sounds like you're saying about Rebel Moon. Here we have a tiny little woman overpowering people. We see a scene in Avengers 1 where Black Widow takes out like 4 or 5 guys, but like she uses that chair as a weapon. She gets a little lucky once. She also just like cat-like reflexes. It's really well played, and it's really good fight choreography. And then by the time we get the Black Widow movie, she's like punching guys down, or also like Moon Knight. The chick just
at least with Black Widow, she was in the Red Room, so they did some experimentation. So maybe they hopped her up on some kind of weird steroid or something like that to kind of give us.
That's
you could weasel out of that one.
Yeah.
I think we all agree that Moon Knight was the worst. She's not transformed into the Egyptian superhero yet. She's like not like the new version of ISIS, which is all that was.
Oh, that's scary.
When she's a tiny little woman, she's still just like, doesn't she like at one point, like she one punches 2 guys in a row and then just beats the 3rd guy down?
Well,
like a pulp. He's able to fend her off.
Was like it was the gender swapped and essentially hero swapped.
He just stood there watching her be awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was pretty pointless.
He's in 19 minutes. He's in 19 minutes of 8 episodes, and that includes Mr. Knight in the alternate outfit. So
He
wasn't even bait and switch. It was like
Disney Marvel has to have the women super strong.
It's like they baited their hook with a gummy worm and somehow caught something.
That's true.
And she definitely overpowered the finale, which was a mistake.
Oh yeah. And seeing how we're pretty much at the 1 hour mark, let's cleanse the palate, as it were, and take a very brief commercial break.
And because here we go.
Yes, and because
South Korean gum.
You're pretty
be today.
And it's a new year, and you know what? We should learn new things, and and a little bit of new ideas here and there and whatnot. So never let the learning stop.
Like the Bukaki House of Shanghai.
No, because it wasn't stupid news, actually. So it was this.
Ambulance, please.
Okay, hold on. Where does it hurt?
My stomach. ちゃんと痛いけど痛い。
救急車を呼んでもらったからといって安心はできません。しっかりと自分の状態を相手に伝えましょう。
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
私はひどい下痢です。
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
肩に手を乗せ I have クロスして a bad case お腹をさすって of diarrhea ジェスチャーゲームの要領です。感情を込めてやってみましょう。
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case diarrhea.
That's right,
You know,
folks.
when I
Never
saw
let
the
the learning
German-
stop.
I
saw
think
that was
found
bewildering and bemusing at the same time.
The
we've
only
seen
thing
that
that made
before.
sense.
I think actually,
The,
you
the
showed that
only,
before.
yeah, I think I've seen it before, but the only thing that made sense in that was when I saw their T-shirts had German writing on them. I'm like, okay, now I get why they're talking about shitting.
I think found footage special interests me that, but let's update it. I kind of just said it.
It's kind of like Godzilla -1. It's like apparently Japanese, but there's some German writing in there that clues you off to the ending. I
Exactly.
won't say any more
So-
about that.
No, that's true, I suppose.
You only have a few more weeks to see Godzilla -1.
This only proves that multiculturalism in this case works. So, God, never stop the learning.
We took
Okay,
the two countries we beat in World War II and we gave them a common porno industry, FDR.
That's right.
That is delightful.
Okay, next
Moving
article.
right along.
Moving right along. Wendy Trouble Warrior. Yeah, I didn't have a diarrhea song on my bingo card. There you go. Now you do. So,
Now you
Ray
do.
Lucard, yes, only in Japan. That's right. So, well, as some of you may or may not know, well, you know, this is 2024 and certain old songs and old movies are released to public domain. And
Oh,
yes.
I
Oh,
wonder
yes.
where
I
this is
spent-
going.
Mike,
I
I spent a
can't
lot of time thinking
imagine.
about that.
That's
I
right.
spent a lot of time thinking about how you might have got that copyright strike. So go ahead and tell the story, and then I'll give my theory.
There we go. And howdy, Wes Cagle. Nice to see you here. You just
Hey
made it
there.
just in time. So,
I guess
you know,
technically,
as if-
we should be able to show Steamboat Willie, but
Yep,
that's
100%.
true. And I tried to. And
I
I got a
think-
slight copyright strike because it's not supposed
Let
to be
me
shown
ask
in
you-
other countries. Go figure that one out. But
let me ask you
This
a quick question.
one-
Did you show the one off Disney Plus?
no.
No. Okay.
No.
That was weird because my
What?
thought was maybe they had done some work in like the 80s or something to clean it up, and that particular version alone was copyrighted. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
But
That was
this isn't
strange
stopping
then.
some people. This isn't stopping some people to actually have fun with Mickey Mouse.
There's a
Because
horror movie.
he's public domain now, and everybody's
Oh,
having loads
boy.
of fun. So if this wasn't bad enough for Disney, well, it's fun for everybody else. So Mickey Mouse belongs to the public domain, and the public wants him to kill everyone. Oh my god, this is going to be so much fun on so many levels because oh boy, and there's nothing Disney can do to stop it essentially. So yeah, well, I don't know if I can show that part because you know, gun and everything like that. So oh no, what the hell,
goodness.
right? Everybody get a good laugh out of it because it's 2024 now. So there you go. Yeah, Mickey has entered the public domain. Everybody is posting that video of Steamboat Willie like almost everywhere. Around on the YouTubes, and why not, right? So yeah, well, this is going to be very interesting. Walt Disney's in 2020 in 1928, sorry about that, short Steamboat Willie, which starred Mickey and Minnie Mouse, is considered the essence of intellectual property and possibly the most iconic character in American pop culture. Was released
How
from
far
Disney
off is the
copyright.
porn? How far off is the
Well,
porn?
we
This
don't know
mouse
yet.
eats pussy. Right? Come on.
God. Was released well yesterday, today, or you know, and from now on into the public domain. And it didn't take long for the floodgates to open on using the famous mouse in a variety of different media. Within hours of being in the public domain, Mickey, Minnie, Pete, and even the wise guy parrot were getting their own spin-offs, reboots, and reimagined by the public that had waited for the moment Mickey was ready to be lampooned and reused. Oh boy. Now, before I go on with this,
contains a tobacco use warning that you have to stop and think on because it's such obscure tobacco use. He
Well,
eats
that's
like
true.
so
So-
he grabs a wad of plug tobacco. It's completely unrecognizable to a modern American.
Yep. So I just want to ask everybody there in the chat, and of course on this panel, and try to be slightly refraining, because we're on the YouTubes. Let's put it that way. What do you want to see Mickey do, or Minnie, or anything else that's released? Oh, Pop is thinking of things right here. So,
well, I already seen a cartoon. They already showed one. He shoved somebody in the part where the coal goes. It already happened. It's online. You can see it. He shoved somebody in the coal and steps on them. It's like, okay, they're starting.
I'd like to see
how
him
about
start
something
to
truly radical and out there, and something family friendly.
I actually had an idea for something. Yeah, but
I would
that
like to
would be
see
crazy.
Mickey Mouse in the Jonathan Majors story, where we took all of the court transcripts and everything that he was alleged to say and do, and have Mickey acted out as Jonathan Majors, and that we
there we
could
go.
then sort of. Yeah, and then how about this part 2? The Life of Ahmed Best, starring Mickey Mouse. Get even with him for we need redress from this mouse, this rat, if you would.
Yeah, there we go. Really card. Yeah, funny you should mention that, Teague. Harry Crumb had a comic with Mickey and Minnie in the 70s. There was a lot of cat petting. Yes, that. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Something tells me I
says,
remember that.
Das Wolf and Die Hard with Steamboat Willie.
well, I think people were waiting on this and prepared stuff already. There's a horror movie already in the works. I think it's already
the movie
done.
was ready in 2020. They said the movie was finished in 2022. The selection film.
And it's similar to the one that I already seen it, the Winnie the Pooh one, which was awesome, by the way.
Yes,
and they're going to do a Mickey version. So,
Oh yeah, Gabe. What about you? Anything you would like to see with Mickey, Minnie, and all that?
Well, I mean,
Steamboat Willie is prawn. I'm sorry.
To be honest with you, I'd like to see that somebody take the Steamboat Willie character, just kind of his visage, and do something more interesting, like do some kind of swashbuckling adventure where he takes a steamboat and heads out into the open seas and does something like search for a buried treasure or come up against pirates or something that's a little bit more, takes the possibility of public domain character and actually tries to do something serious with it instead of something subversive, which everybody sort of already got a taste of with Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey and all that stuff that happened last year. I'd like to see him do something more adventurous with them and see if they can have some fun with that.
Kind of like Bring Back the Magic.
Yeah, it really says something about the culture where we look at these characters and right off the bat, people start thinking of subversive ways to use them. Like, we're going to take your character and get back at you with it.
Steamboat Willie is Perry White. Trying to get pushed by
Titans, don't stop.
How about this? Mickey Mouse gets off the boat, right? He gets off the boat, and we find out that it's on the Rhine. And he's in like Stuttgart or something, and he goes and sees a very charismatic 1928 German politician and becomes a fan and grows, like, shall we say, a certain affect mustache. We could do that with Mickey Mouse.
Now, I agree with Pop and Gabe both. Make it family friendly, make it an adventure. You could really do good with this character.
Yeah.
But I say, one thing I would like to see, though,
Kennedy, could we really?
I actually want to see that him attack Kennedy in the Star Wars and the Marvel universe and say, "You've ruined us all," and just I think that could be good.
There we go.
We can't hurt him more than she has.
Willie Treasure Island. That would be
that would be cool, actually, though.
If anything, the parody might bail their asses out. If someone does a really good satire, like, it might bail their asses out and get the character some goodwill back, because they've ruined their own brand really badly in the last few years. And no one really wants to go to their theme park, it seems.
No, that's true. There's got to be a way of recapturing that, that Disney magic, so to speak, right? And this now out in the public domain. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? So,
and we had some, and what a year. They must be glad to see it go by too, right? Because we had that Star Cruiser Hotel kooky idea opening close. And what are they even going to do with that disaster? It has no windows.
But notice it does show how society works, that we have to have them make him a killer immediately. It's like,
exactly.
Subversive. You have to take it to the extreme.
No, I understand why the horror movie people are in there first.
Disgusting in a way.
I mean, well,
it is in a way. Yes.
I can't say I don't want to see it, but I'm with Pop and Gabe on that. I want a family version. Yeah, make it.
Horror gets in there sooner because horror is cheap.
Yeah,
exactly. The horror people are used
to do it fast.
They're used to very quick turnaround. They're used to being the first ones to be in on things. And look, twice in a row, we've seen it.
Yep. So
now,
here's
as
the
far
thing,
as
right?
oh,
A teaser of a horror comedy film starring Mickey Mouse as the killer was released on the same day that Disney's 1928 short became publicly available. It's Alex's 21st birthday, but he's stuck in at the amusement arcade on a late shift, so her friends decide to surprise her. The movie synopsis for Mickey's Mousetrap goes, but a masked killer dressed as Mickey Mouse decides to play a game of his own with them, which she must survive. So, already, exactly, some people are already on the bandwagon, and I can kind of see their point of view. Yeah, we're gonna do to Mickey what Disney has been basically, doing to everybody else in the past couple of years. But you know what? Yeah, I exactly. You know what? Okay, you ruined the franchise for us. Yeah, now we're gonna ruin your iconic character. I can see that point of view, but yeah, I got to go along with Pop and Gabe on this. Try to bring some of that magic back. But here it is, and we've seen it, earlier this last year with Winnie the Pooh. That's where some of the mindset goes. Let's put it that way. So, in a teaser, a person dressed as Mickey Mouse is showing attacking a victim and pursuing other people inside a Chuck E. Cheese like establishment. Oh, so it's basically like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing.
Goodness.
The scene is eerily similar to the horror hit Five Nights at Freddy's from the previous year.
That Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie Bailey, the film's director, said, "We just wanted to have fun with it all. I mean, it's like Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie murdering people. That's absurd. We took with it and ran with it, and I think that shows." Well, yeah, that's certainly how it shows. So, oh boy.
Now, if I may step in, I'm a horror fan. I think it'd be fun to watch, but I still want a family friendly for the kids. They could renew this character and do it. I like horror, and I agree to what Gabe said too. As a person who does film, horror is some of the cheapest things you can make. It really is cheap. You just need camera angles and stuff. It really is cheap.
And I think because it just appeals to, like, I don't want to say it in the way it sounds, but a low common denominator.
Yeah,
so
like
horror.
Horror is one of the cheapest, and sci-fi is one of the most expensive for when you're developing films.
Yeah, it appeals to the base level dread and fear that we all feel. We can tap into those feelings, the fear of the unknown, the horror, the hesitation, like, oh, it's the unknown. What's out there? We don't know. It's dark. It's night. There's something that goes bump in the night.
Yeah,
so like the Wrong Turn movies. You're in the forest. You don't know what's on the round corner and stuff like that. And
exactly. And next thing you know, Mickey Mouse pops out of nowhere. It's like, oh, this is gonna be great. Yeah, it's rather weird. It's pretty surreal, now, because we're just so ingrained with Mickey Mouse Disney for ages now, and now it's out in public domain, and this is where it's going. Right out of the gates.
Yeah, this does go back to the whole subvert your expectations deal.
Yeah.
Now, I bring it to everybody on the panel, though. Do you think this derived from the fact that they've screwed their fans over with every other IP they've had in a while? I wonder if they ticked off. Yeah,
possibly, because when somebody mentioned earlier about can Disney get some goodwill back, the more I read up on Disney and the perverse things that the corporation's into, no, I don't want anything to do with Disney. Sadly, they need new leadership, top down. It's like they need to do a house cleaning, and they need to get away from some very disgusting things that the corporation's promoting, unfortunately.
Oh, they've been bad.
And by perverse, he means deeply unseemly and disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
So they kind of did it to themselves almost. So
pretty much.
And then boasted of it. They've kind of spiked the football on their own disgraceful comments. Like, look how stupid we can be. No one's gotten fired for a lot of these dumb comments. I don't think I can think of anyone ever facing repercussions for saying we've got a few plans on how to get inside your kid's head and things that you just don't really want to hear from a cartoon, comic, animated, family, theme park. It's like the Six Flags people. It's like we're introducing Christopher Street Land to Six Flags New York. It's an entire gay theme part of the park, and if you don't want to go there, you're afraid of strong women and gay. It's like imagine anyone else trying to do this. I mean, I don't know how Disney survives because they're so predicated on. For a long time, you could just put on a Disney movie and stick your kid in front of it and walk away, and you would be sure that
be safe. Exactly.
It might misfire. It might not always entertain greatly, but it wasn't going to be like, well, your parents are out of the room. There's a few things you need to know. Your friends.
Yeah.
And the hypocritical part of it all.
Friends' sisters' clothes.
The hypocritical part of it all is like you had like Miss Ireland there with the racist stuff and everything, but yet Gina got fired for saying obvious stuff. So we figure that out. Yeah, that's also a black mark on them too. It's like somebody's actually.
Don't we all think that she was? Don't you all think that they had like a piano hoisted up and they're like, this X will move wherever we need it to move. We're going to get one of Dave Filoni's people. Because I think we saw like a near John Favreau's people. Because I think we saw like a near miss on somebody where they almost like they talked her out of it, or we saw a cheap shot at Pedro Pascal first, but he's like outworked them by showing up dressed as a chick because he'll do that sometimes. He is so weird. I think he out-weirded the accusations, and then like she just put that beep boop bop thing, and they turned that. The next thing we know, we hear she's denying historical events, and none of that turned out to be true.
No, exactly. And Pedro posted some stuff too, which was not good, but yet he's fine.
Yeah, but he was extremist left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He gets
now the film was produced now the film was produced by Paul Whitney, Mark Popejoy, Andrew Agapowicz, Sophie McIntosh, Cullum. Oh God, some of these names I'm telling you. Cullum Sizwick, Allegra Noctia, Ben Harris.
I just took some Allegra before to clear my sinuses.
Yeah, there you go. So apparently the film doesn't have a rating yet, but the producers are aiming for March. So there's an interesting release date. So essentially like 3 months away. So there could be some complications, however, as the Mickey being used in the movie may not fit the criteria of fair use.
They're going to dispute it that it had Steamboat Willie Mickey's only real distinctive thing that's different after he takes off that hat, because he takes off the hat early in the movie and it doesn't go back on. So that's not key.
Nope.
He seems to have a chin dimple. He seems to have a chin dimple.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see if Disney is willing to put the kibosh on these and other horror themed film with the mouse. So, oh boy, it's going to be rather interesting to see how this goes. Dear God. Now, I'm not going to play the official trailer. You'll have to find that online because, oh boy, will I ever get dinged. But just look it up on the Rumble YouTube. Yeah, Infestation 88, just so you people know. And I'll let you guys make your own, decision on whether or not you want to watch this or not. So
the Titan says, good, but it'll probably be pretty funny.
Yeah, the Titan says, here's a subversive idea: have an 80s like sitcom where Mickey marries Minnie, raises a family, and wait for it, is a good dad and husband. Too much?
Oh goodness!
Yeah,
you mean
we can't
dare I say gasp? Good conservative values.
Like family values.
That's just everybody that's like normal values. That's far too normal for them.
Yeah, exactly. Wendy Drama Warrior. Now that this version of Mickey is public domain, may we find out it was Harvey J. Cthulhu in disguise? Probably.
Push the button.
Yeah, exactly.
TM.
Oh, I got it. Oh, Mickey was inspired by Minnie and wants to become Minnie. So
there we go. So they can be
I don't
twin
know
sisters.
anything for sure, but you know what? Like an iteration of Harvey that had like mouse ears, or Harvey projecting making an astral projection of Steamboat Willie Mickey could probably be coming. We've seen Doomcock be pretty inventive. I don't know anything from anything, but I would imagine that he's not going to miss the opportunity either.
No, probably not. So, yeah.
Nah, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Exactly. You know,
if your enemy is destroying themselves, do nothing. It's like if you don't like Disney, just give them a little more time. They're doing a great job just fucking themselves up fast.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. So,
No, but they'll give it to us anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Five Nights at Freddy vibe continues in a video game world with Infestation 88, a episodic 4-to-4 player cooperative survival horror game set in 1988 by Nightmare Forge Games. As an exterminator, you are tasked with purging homes of twisted versions of classic characters and urban legends. Indeed, Mickey Mouse is one of those figures. Later in the game, later this year, the game will be available as an early access title on Steam. So
nice.
There you go. Get those Steam accounts ready. So players will visit several unique locations in Infestation 88 to solve the mysteries and horrors surrounding the origins of East Infestation. According to a line in the game description, find the source at all costs. Every location in the game has an urban legend or classic character of its own. With one of these is our beloved mouse. So, oh my God, there's just so it's definitely like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing, right? So, out in the darkness pops Steamboat Willie.
So this is even separate from the film coming out. This is a game now too. So they got
Now
people
are
jumping on this like crazy.
I'm gonna just go on a limb here and say this is deeply fucking weird to me. This is just weird.
It is.
It is kind of weird. Yeah, because like I said, we're used to having Mickey synonymous with Disney for ages as we were growing up. And now we're seeing this pop out, and it seems very surreal, right?
But can I put a question to you guys? Didn't Robot Chicken do something with Mickey a little bit loosely based? Didn't they do something where he was crazy and nuts? I think they did.
I actually don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
That's a good question.
I think they did, but they changed it up enough and called him somebody else that they were allowed to get around it. But I think they did something on Robot Chicken about it where he was crazy and killer. So it's not the first time we've seen it, but now it's official. They can actually use, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
a very strange cultural reaction to Disney. It's like a subversive gotcha-ism. Like, we gotcha, Disney. We gotcha.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Exactly,
Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're doing, Disney. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
I love the Disney cartoons, and we need to go back to those days.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Now, the teams can work together to defeat the evil creatures in Infestation 88, thanks to its private and public lobbies, proximity-based voice chat, and regular voice chat features. According to Nightmare Forge, the randomization of the items should increase the game's replayability. Players will be able to gain experience, skins, perks, and other items as they progress through Infestation 88. So they do have also a trailer called Mouse that's out on the YouTubes. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. But like I said before, it's just very weird, to see this now out in public domain. Fumi Games, a Polish developer, released an early look at Mouse in May. Even in its early stages, with boxy gray levels and placeholder art, the shooter looked impressive and distinct due to its black and white classic cartoon style and animation. Fumi Games has now released a longer trailer featuring an even better looking version of Mouse, i.e., of course, Mickey, just in time for the new year. In its noir FPS, a private eye rodent uses his trusty Tommy gun to take down numerous mouse gangsters in a cartoonish, violent manner, all in the name of cleansing up this corrupt city. Oh boy, can you see kind of a subversive kind of message right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We also get to see some other lethal techniques, such as throwing dynamite, shooting pianos so they fall on enemies, or simply punching goons. In between all of this, the mouse protagonist collects baseball cards, converses with characters, and consumes tea and spinach for presumably health reasons. So,
Because violent vigilantism can be fun.
yeah, exactly, right? I mean, you know what? In a way, I'm kind of, all for the, shooting pianos because they, so they fall on enemies. I mean, that's kind of a classic.
I never
it
put that
is.
together.
It
I've
is.
actually seen it.
Cartoonish.
I've been following this to make because if anybody played Cuphead, it's the old cartoon style from the 30s, 40s, and stuff, which I love. I love those cartoons.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
this is based after. This game looks amazing. It does look because it's that old comic book style or cartoon style. And I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't realize, I didn't correlate that. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks cool. I say, yeah.
And hail, Sword of Poopus. Nice to see you here, man. Happy New Year to you. So,
hello.
Yeah, melted copper. Okay, bills
Hi,
are
Snorty.
and his purchase. There you go. nice to hear that, melted copper. So, time to break out the booze.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the spinach part is part of Popeye, because remember of the cartoons of that era as well. So
exactly,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
well, you know what?
Different.
Let's be brave here, and let's have a checkout of this trailer here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm only going to play it for so long because
They
obviously
were aspiring to a little bit of Cupheadness. There was a little bit of Max Fleischerism to that.
Punches block off.
It does
look
exactly.
It's a little nuts, but it didn't look anywhere near as bad as I thought, and that might actually be fun.
Yeah, you know what? And it seems very old
The
style.
music would drive you
20s,
insane
30s.
about a half hour, though.
I love the music. I like the cartoon style. So
I like it for a couple of minutes, but then I think it would start to slowly drive me insane.
Yeah, probably. Maybe there's an option to turn the music off or turn it down or whatever.
I love the old timey music, but yeah,
it does, right? I mean, as okay, let's put it this way: as violent as it looks, it's very reminiscent to old cartoons. I mean, I'll bet
they used to beat each other up all the time in those cartoons. Let's be honest.
Yeah, dropping pianos and stuff like that. It's classic cartoon tropes. Basically.
I mean, if you look at the Bugs Bunny, you know how censored they are nowadays.
Oh God, yeah. Titans by the way, Mike, that game trailer looked better than the Marvels. Exactly.
Got some breaking news. Not that I don't know how breaking it is or how big it is, but it's just happened. The president of Harvard announced their resignation. Did they say some insane things, perhaps?
Oh, yes, they did.
It's not what they said, but they're.
It's what they didn't say,
or they didn't do. It's like there's some allegations of plagiarism on papers.
You should be fired for academics if you're a plagiarist.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's an academic field. It's easy enough to give credit. God, just footnotes. Anybody? You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
Hit those like and follow buttons, people. Those are the footnotes to our broadcast.
Now, the FPS shooter is with a noir-fueled aesthetic that takes cues from the vintage 1930s cartoon, is what Fumi Games describes. As a private investigator, players will have to look into a noir city teeming with gangs, mobs, and characters from the dark side. Now, according to Fumi, enemies will act like cartoon characters, which ought to make mouse play and appear unlike any other shooter out there when paired with
you got the power. You get the joke they did there. You'll be able to play the game using the mouse.
Exactly. So, Yeah, and another way of basically
We've disabled touchpad play, mouse only.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
because nobody has trackballs anymore.
No, exactly. That's just silly. So, new enemies and weapons such as pump action shotgun are featured heavily in the mouse gameplay trailer. We also get a glimpse of how fighting will function in this cartoon
Why
setting,
stop
where
there? Give
players
them the
will
gun from
be.
Aliens with the flamethrower and the 100
Oh,
round
yeah.
machine gun of explosive rounds.
But
Give
that's
them
not
that.
20-esque kind of, shooters, kind of. No, you
No,
got to
but
keep
it's
the
cool as
20s
fuck.
aesthetic.
I guess that's
Well,
a,
that's
yeah,
true,
that's its
too.
own. That's its own.
Yeah,
new
get a
game,
BFG.
right? Fucking
Well, wait till
Mickey
the
Mouse
modded
goes
community.
to.
Wait till
How
the
about
modded
this?
community
Mickey,
gets hold of it.
Mickey
Exactly.
Steamboat Willie LV 486.
Yeah, yeah. Where players may be able to dash about and blow up heads in stunning monochrome graphics.
I'm thinking about
I love
how that
It's
if the implications.
stunning monochrome
Wait,
graphics. That's awesome.
I'm thinking about the implications of mixing this with Aliens that Walt Disney's allegedly frozen, and we have like a lot of freezing going on in the Aliens
Yeah,
franchise.
exactly.
Like
Exactly.
when everyone's like case opens up, they have like a Walt Disney mask on that they pull off. It's like, oh,
man.
it's like
The scene where an enemy was burned and turned into a cartoon heap of ash with blinking eyes is a chief kiss on how good this game might be. Oh boy.
The chef
Yeah,
kid. Yeah. Because you always have the classic tropes. So yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's very I don't know. It's kind of fun in a way. It's different. Yeah, that now that Mickey is essentially public domain, oh boy, a lot of people are going to be having fun with this. So, Mouse is scheduled to release on the PC in 2025. Fumi's official website also confirms that the cartoonish shooter will be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, good. I haven't gotten a new PlayStation yet.
A Nintendo Switch. That's kind of
Wow.
different.
I'm surprised
That
Nintendo
is.
allowed that, but no, they're
I
allowing Call of
know.
Duty now, so they play Call of Duty, and that's just as violent, if not more so. So
All right,
Well, yeah, that's
but
true.
will it be available on the Atari 2600? That's what I want
Yeah,
to know.
exactly.
And an 8-bit glory.
Yeah.
good old days.
Oh yeah, in 8-bit glory. Oh my god, that'll be hilarious.
So see, there's
So,
multiple games coming out, a movie coming out. People are jumping on this big time.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's rather weird. Rather weird because like I said before, we've always put Mickey along with Disney, and now that he's public domain, it's weird. Weird
I
to
blame
see it.
Disney. They should have found a way to keep it, but no, they're concentrating on making a bunch of woke garbage and just
Exactly.
Disney's lost it.
It's,
They're not a good company.
Oh well, it just shows
Yeah.
the unbridled creativity of the masses that are determined to make a parallel entertainment industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what we're all looking for because we're tired of
guys,
the mainstream entertainment industry. We're wanting the alternatives to them.
Yeah.
these guys
True.
are going to make a lot of money with Disney's discarded, poorly regarded idea. Disney
Mhm.
set themselves up for this 5 or 6 years ago, about 10 or 12 years ago. People would have felt a certain sense of outrage, and you might have seen something like a fucking friendly senator from Florida, which ain't going to happen now, introduce like an anti-Mickey Mouse defamation law. Because there are monopolies in this country. Major League Baseball has one. They might have, if they had played their cards right, been able to get a monopoly on this corporate image by making a case that was intrinsically American. But what they did was they had a divisive political message from such an extreme part of just one side that they achieved what we call narrowcasting. They were no longer broadcasting these, and the Marvels shows it. Like, look how little that movie was made for so
big
few
time.
people to enjoy.
Mhm.
Aquaman puts it to shame, which means that as an entertainment product, Aquaman was made to be enjoyed by more people. So, like, once you immediately start like an entertainment idea, it's like, I'm going to exclude a bunch of people. It's like you're already making a mistake. And then usually the next mistake is this will make all the right people mad. It's like, no, don't do this to yourself. We've seen how this ends.
Well, Raylo Carrot says, well, back in the Nintendo GameCube days, they ported a violent game with cussing included. I'm surprised it wasn't censored.
Yeah, Nintendo will allow certain games on. I've seen, like I said, the Call of Duty series and other games on the Switch now, so that they're a little bit more free. They're concentrated now. If it's their IP, they know you can't mess with it. But other IPs, they'll bring them to their system. So.
Yeah,
I think that the Madden game should have cursing in it too. Like when someone gets hit, you feel like real football players, like, "I fuck your mother, you piece of shit."
I always said that about the NHL games. I like to see them because if you ever watch NHL, they'll swear at each other over the benches. Yeah.
Oh, they have like whenever you see a fight on the ice, it's like immediately they cut the sound and just go right to the booth, and you hear the crowd going insane and cheering. But they don't want any of the mics near the ice on because it's just like people saying in French or people with heavy Russian accents saying to a French Canadian guy, "You fuck you, you mother fuck you," as they go in and try to fight. Through broken teeth,
I work security at
what you doing? I fuck you up.
Oh, yeah, I worked security at a hockey rink.
You
I heard
just
AHL
fuck.
and junior hockey, and they swear a lot. So yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
So
you go son fuck.
Yeah. So seeing how we got a little bit of extra time, of course, we're just having fun with the news currently right now, but eventually we're gonna have to report a little bit of bad news along the way, of course.
Oh no.
And I know. But this is gonna be no exception because
you take the bad.
Exactly, because in about 8 days, well, this is gonna be coming out. So Echo.
What is this? Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
boy.
Oh, this. Because I've been waiting. It's like,
yeah.
when is this going to be coming out? And
it's the sequel to Super Size Me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie though. Remember, whatchamacallit scenes look pretty good in there though.
Well, that's
the Kingpin. So, he actually looked to be he looked cool in this.
Yes, no, totally 100%.
We saw every moment he has in that movie, in that trailer, though. It's the way I feel.
I hope not. Yep. But
I'm
scared you're right.
All 5 episodes will stream on Disney Plus and Hulu on January the 10th, 2004. Now, there have been some, how should we say, some footage that was, essentially released today. And it is taking the interwebs by storm. Of sorts, and because the fighting scene, it doesn't look exactly very good. So we're going to show it right here, right now. Well, because this is what we do on this channel. So this is the fight scene between Daredevil and Echo. Okay, now catch this and tell me what you think of the fight scene.
For once, it's not a 90-pound woman.
Exactly.
Because she goes about 160 these days. So
yeah, that's true. So this looks so.
Oh,
here's the thing: they almost had the right idea. They almost had the right idea because she's going athletic and she's going martial arts, but then she sustained like 2 compound fracture blows to her leg in a row, and it's just like it's no big deal.
Oh,
yeah,
but remember she has prosthetic arms, right?
Oh, does she?
I can speak to that in a little bit. So,
after
besides her ability, she's deaf. So that's the first thing. The second thing is she has a metallic prosthetic leg. I think it's the right leg.
Oh.
That's
which
true.
is so when he's hitting her with the baton on the in the calf and in the hamstring area, if you listen closely, you can hear like a metallic ting where he's hitting the leg. Here's the problem though. Nobody who has because I know from first-hand experience, nobody who has a prosthetic leg can possibly move like that. Because she's rotating her ankle, she's flexing her foot. Basically, she's moving as if she doesn't have a prosthetic leg. So none of her movements match what the disability that she's supposed to represent on screen. It doesn't work at all. It just doesn't. It's not possible the way she's moving if she has a prosthetic leg to move that way. So if you right at that minute,
although I guess that's the prosthetic leg that takes the 2 compound fracture blows. I'm guessing here.
That one
right
there.
Listen closely to the sound, there's like a ting noise.
Here's the thing: poor Daredevil. Last time we see him, he fucks She-Hulk. Now he's beating up this poor pregnant woman.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I mean, got to remember, in the Marvel universe, it could be a high-tech leg that can move Maybe that could move a little bit.
Oh,
better.
of course.
I mean, Marvel.
Right.
If
Like
she was getting the leg from,
Bucky's
Star
cybernetic
Trek or
arm.
something. Yeah, if it was like a Star Trek leg or something like that. But in the prior series where she showed up, which was in the Hawkeye and it was the Hawkeye series where she made her debut. It's just a regular, just a regular prosthetic leg. It's nothing.
She probably made it herself out of garbage, like Ironheart, or Ironheart made it for her out of garbage.
Well, yeah, just like Ironheart. Well, this makes the sense.
Ironheart is garbage, so that makes sense.
Oh God, yeah.
Well,
Nap
the
After Dark,
show's not
yeah,
garbage.
it looks like a ballet and not a real
Ironheart,
fight.
garbage
Exactly.
in, garbage out.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this
play that
actress
scene at the
too.
lowest speed possible to see how horrible that is. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we already
Because
seen
if
it.
you, oh yeah, we seen it because this looks more like it's like a Power Rangers TV show kind of fight, right? It's like obviously you can see nothing is really landing. It is so choreographed. It's
The damage to us in believing this fight piles up fast. It's front loaded with unbelievability. And like I said, they almost had something there because she's using a little bit of martial arts, but then she just starts whooping the fuck out of them.
And Daredevil's a great fighter.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Well, he's better than Great Fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
He's better than Great Fighter because his senses allow him to kind of perceive and feel the space around him. So he should be well ahead of her on any telegraphed move.
I just want to say this is the first.
I mean, that guy coming out of nowhere and basically landing on him, that shouldn't have even happened whatsoever. Yeah,
no, exactly.
I haven't seen so much male on female violence since I watched the movie Man on the Moon, where he tries to be the intergender wrestling champ. He is
there
just
you go.
what? But I mean, Daredevil's already taken enough damage that they had to burn a season worth of his show, and they're not going to put that out. They're going to start over. And now the next time we see him, he's beating the fuck out of a woman.
Yeah,
this is not good for him.
Well, but she's
and aren't they going to redo the entire series because they didn't like the way it turned out? So it's like I feel bad for him.
I think so.
I think they had. I think they had core mistakes were baked into what they had. They couldn't fix much, right?
Yep. Oh, but don't forget, on top of that, they had to rewrite her origin and where she came from and what tribe she belonged to, and what was it?
Oh, that's right.
They couldn't just make it
because she wasn't Hispanic.
Tribe.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you
right?
could be Mex Indian. The Mex Indian is a real nationality. Is a real ethnicity.
But forget the actual tribe that she came from. No.
Chakotay says he's Mexican Indian.
Yeah, exactly. Go figure that one out, right? So, footage from the upcoming Marvel series Echo has landed online, as everybody has just now seen, pitting basically Echo against Daredevil. And yeah, I'm sorry, that just looked like a Power Rangers fight to me. So, rumors offer the series is really bad. Hence why Marvel is dropping all the episodes at once.
Just to get it out of the way.
Wow. Exactly. It's also known that they cut back on a number of episodes from 6 to 5. And the reactions are also mixed.
Shit.
Hey, at least it didn't hit the background.
Quite honestly, though, every single Marvel or Star Wars show, even slow as fuck, Andor had a useless episode you could have thrown right out the window that was just plain old bloat.
Yep.
So if they lost that, I mean, because a lot of times they would play for time for 2 extra episodes, be like, we could get people to renew twice, and it's like, no, and people are going to be very quick to make sure that they exterminate their Disney fucking Plus after they see this.
Exactly. Echo serves.
I haven't seen anything that big on a motorcycle since the album cover About Hell. Sorry.
No, that's true. Yeah, the series is about the origin story of Echo, who revisits Maya Lopez, whose ruthless behavior in New York City catches up with her in her hometown. She must face her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and embrace the meaning of family and community if she ever hopes to move forward. Oh, God.
I gotta say, as a New Yorker myself, we're known for our very large population of Native Americans. In fact, if you've ever seen the episode of Star Trek This Side of Paradise, that's what Central Park looks like. There's just a large bunch of teepees. There's a permanent camping ground, and there's a few buffalo running loose there. We never really, a lot of them never really assimilated into our society. And if you're driving down Fifth Avenue, before you shoot somebody to see if you get in trouble for it and it costs you any votes. One thing you might want to stop to see is the traditional Native American buffalo drive across the Fifth Avenue and 55th Street. Yes, always every morning at around 10:30 down to the watering hole by Central Park.
Gotta love that this Echo can't copy the fighting styles of any opponent, but echoes back to her ancestors for strength or something.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. They gave that ability. They gave that ability to Taskmistress. She's the only one who does that now, right? I guess they don't want to confuse people because Echo had Taskmaster's fucking powers, didn't she?
That's right.
I
don't know. I stopped paying attention to it a long time ago.
She was from the Rogue School of discount superheroes.
Yeah, it's not worth my time to invest in a terrible TV show.
No, if Rogue is Grey Goose, this is the Fleischmann's vodka.
No, I'm going to watch it because I want to see Kingpin's stuff because he looks cool. I'd say the only thing that could save this is have Kingpin stand over her dead body at the end, and then it becomes a villain episode and a villain story.
How about
I don't want to see
either that or like after a few fights they sit down together and he's like, how we can really work this out is some comfort eating together. I can see it's something we both enjoy. And they go just cramming lobster and steak in their mouth. Like, I'll have the surf and the turf. And they're just like, both the last episode, they just eat out their problems. And it's like, we'll call it Echo, eat your heart out. Hello.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Relation. Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, man.
Happy New Year. Yes. Nothing like a good surf and turf from Jungle Gems. Yum. Anyway.
Yes, comfort food solves everything.
This
Exactly.
whole thing is frightening to me.
So seeing how we're not going to get 6, but we're going to get 5.
I'm so disappointed about that 6th episode, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anybody care to wager how much of these 5 episodes are going to be constantly about, I don't know, reminiscing about family and how she got her superpowers, whatever that's going to be. And I don't know, see a bunch of naval tribal dancing and stuff like that. How much of it is going to be
episodes? Maybe 3. 2, maybe 3 episodes.
Okay.
50% of the entire thing, half of each episode will be dedicated to that. Also, we will see a highly, highly insulting mistake where they're going to fuck up Native Americans by mistake. They're going to think they're doing something good. They could be like, because of my Native Americanness, I'm an extra good pickpocket or something that fucking stupid.
Let me say, will it be as bad as will it be as bad as Secret Invasion?
Let me put it this way: they're waiting. They're dumping them all at once, and maybe they edited Aquafina out of this. That's how bad the smell is around this one.
Oh wow, yeah, I think so. Gabe, what do you think?
We still have time to put the Aquafina scenes back in.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
What are your predictions for this? What are your thoughts?
There is no platform, whether it's in Disney Plus or in the comics, where Echo is a well-known and popular character. The only reason she showed up here was because she showed up in Hawkeye, and her role in that series, which was not the worst of the Disney Plus Marvel adaptations, but her role in there was kind of incidental. If you took her out of it, it really didn't change much of what was happening, right? So
that's true.
So I mean, this is one of those things where absolutely, I hate to broad brush it, but it's the truth. Nobody asked for this. I don't think anybody cares.
I think I can save it.
There's nothing exciting about this character. This is not a popular character.
Save it.
Nobody asked for this, and I think it was just in this way. I think this is one of those circumstances where, like horror, this was a cheap show to produce because there aren't a lot of big special effects. So they said, okay, this is how we can keep Marvel growing within the Disney Plus platform without spending a lot of money. And I think that's just all there is to it.
Yeah,
how about this?
Show nobody wanted. Nobody asked for it. There's no point to
save this. It's on Hulu now. Hulu has another show on it you may be familiar with that is transcendentally related to Daredevil. Now, where in New York City does Daredevil hang out? Follow me here. Follow my reasoning. Where does he hang out?
Okay. Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Right. Now on Hulu, there's a show starring Gordon Ramsay. What's it called?
Ooh, Hell's Kitchen.
Now, if Gordon Ramsay was the bad guy and then found redemption by straightening out straightening out Amazon Echo here and having just being like, you don't need to eat every time you go past someplace. You should only eat something. Look at that plate. You've cleaned it off yet again. You've been back for seconds and thirds. Like
holy crap, you stupid boneless twat! When you got a hollow leg, you're eating everything out of the house at home right now. Jeez,
that would be so funny if he's like, you're as poorly, you're doing as poorly as a one-legged woman in an ass-kicking contest, and then it's like, and I meant that. Like that's the only way to say that. Make Gordon Ramsay the villain. Let him have free reign. Let him write his own dialogue. It's about Echo trying to become a short order chef. He's like, yeah, it's absolutely the way. Why do you keep shooting arrows into the food?
Oh, jeez. God. Melted Copper. I love MCU Nick Fury, the paper pusher who takes advantage of homeless aliens way better than some special missions army guy. Yeah, exactly, right? Sort of Buddha says, you've been here for an hour. You scare my wife. Yeah, thank you. Hey, I try my best. So, yeah, the Titan, I hate to disagree with Gabe, but I asked Disney to keep giving us the best they can so I can warm up by their dumpster fire. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
When Disney sends us,
there was a Marvel Max comics where Fury shags a room of Asians. Comics Fury is a very different guy. Oh, there we go.
When Hollywood sends us their female superheroes, they don't send us their best anymore. They're not sending us Haley Atwood. They're not sending us Gal Gadot. They're sending us this Amy Schumer-ish motorcycle riding woman who's hopefully not dancing up the stairs in socks, because that looks very painful.
Yeah, exactly. Gabe, you were saying something?
No, I was going to say I appreciate the feedback from the chat, but we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'm. Oh God, this is going to be such a forgettable series. Like,
I'm still going to watch it for one reason, Kingpin.
Yeah,
I just like I said, remember we watched the trailers and it looked cool with him. I was like, oh, he looks super badass. But yeah,
I mean, I don't mind that they scaled back on the number of episodes because bloat is a thing that's definitely got away from most of the MCU and the Star Wars shows. So scaling it back, but when they dump it all at once, that tells me that they have very low confidence in the show. Because they're not spreading it out over several weeks. They're saying, here, just be done. It's like the Aquaman thing where they didn't even do a red carpet. They didn't do any kind of press junkets or anything like that. They just dumped it into the theaters and they said, we know we're going to take a loss, so let's just deal with it. Echo, I get the same vibe from that. They're just dumping it to get rid of it.
Yep.
Right.
The 30,000 foot view would be this, though. If you want to be an eternal optimist here, if you really, really want to be an eternal optimist about this,
I'm not.
This show that looked like shit got cut short and it's going to get dropped all at once, so that instead of 5-6 weeks of terrible press, they get 1 week of terrible press. We move on. It doesn't look like they're going to go anywhere with it. They didn't care about what the actress said because she was like, please let me whip myself into shape. I had a baby or whatever. She had a reason. Like, this was an unexpected call. They didn't make any compromises with her. They would not change her outfit. They would not change what she did. I've heard the outfit sucks. Anyway, I don't know why they were so committed to it. And like, this seems to back up some of the things we were saying that sound like wild conspiracy theories, like they made Evangeline Lilly look really terrible on purpose. Well, here's a woman who had no choice. She drifted over the line into looking just not so great. She wasn't TV ready. And I'm saying she probably would look stunning in a bar. Her face was still real pretty and stuff. I don't know. She's not, better looking than your average person, but she drifted out of TV shape and they wouldn't even give her a reasonable chance to get back. No, you're the kind of sexy we want on screen. I mean, this poor woman, what will this do to her career?
I don't know. And hail, Pops. Nice to see you, man. Happy New Year to you. I got to do a video on how bad Echo looks and how pathetic that one-shot action scene looks. Yeah, do it, man. It just, like I said before, it literally looks like a choreographed Power Rangers fight scene.
Very bad choreographed. You could tell where some of the punches wouldn't land. There was like at least 3 or 4 inches between a fist and the point of the body where the fist was supposed to connect, but it was empty air. It's like they're hitting nothing. They're hitting air.
The only thing they had, but there was a sliver of integrity or sliver of sense, was they tried to make it look like she used martial arts, but it was so poorly done. Like there was no wire work in there either. That was bad and cheap.
But what's with this hate on Daredevil? He was a great character. It was a great series on Netflix. And so far, we've messed up his show. We have to redo it. You've had him screw She-Hulk in a really pathetic walk.
Green HPV,
Now you got this. I'm like, well, you're kind of killing. You're trying to kill off Daredevil, and the guy does a good Daredevil. It's like,
but remember, it's Disney, like, and you have to put men in their place.
Right.
Well,
and you can't have anything as competent as the Netflix Marvel shows, because those were awesome.
No. I know.
I didn't even mind.
I
didn't even mind the what was it? Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
I like the
Iron Fist. Was he could have learned how to fight a little better too, though.
Yeah,
I agree,
he could
but
have. But
still,
I would rewatch Iron Fist over any Disney Marvel.
Oh yeah,
I watched Age of Ultron last night.
Jessica Jones.
It was. I just saw Age of Ultron last night, and as flawed as it was, I remember walking out disappointed. I'm like, wow, this would be the best Marvel. They'd be like, Marvel's got it back together if this came out now. It's actually so much more cohesive than I remembered. Although Scarlet Witch, she have a Russian accent in movie. Go away very fast.
You would.
No, she does. She does.
Echo is weird because clearly they can use Daredevil and not and choose not to. Or choose not to.
Oh, I think you mean as the star, like Daredevil could have been the star.
Just why? Imagine Marvel as toys. Who would pick? Yeah, Agatha or Echo or Miss Marvel the Kid out of Punisher, Daredevil, Ghost Rider. Exactly. None of them.
I think even the little girls are picking up the Daredevil and Ghost Rider and Punisher first.
By the way, can I throw in a little bit of side news here?
Yes, you can.
There's a little rumor. Ghost Rider, Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I've seen that around here and there.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be accepted. We'll at least wait to see. I'd be curious.
Yeah,
still a rumor.
As Johnny Blaze.
Yeah,
that would be.
I could see that. I mean, it would at least get him away from The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
the man can act, and when he's in New York, he hangs out with like Deborah Harry and like jams rock and roll. I think he plays music, and he's just kind of like a generally cool guy.
Boondock Saints was one of my favorite films. I love Boondock Saints. I mean, that's where I first.
And we'll never get a Boondock Saints 3 at this point.
They're still talking.
Whenever we catch up to Norman Reedus off screen, though, right? What is he doing? He seems like he's just like freshly high, like on weed. You know, nothing terrible. Nothing. He's not scaring us. He's like freshly high on weed. He couldn't be more delighted to be talking to us, and he's just kind of laid back. And it's like,
he's the sort of guy you could hang out with and just talk about anything.
Yeah.
He's the inverse energy of Jason Momoa, where it's like, whoa! It's like you feel like he's gonna come over and like make you
Ghost Rider Reedus is fine with me, says Phantom Boomer. Yeah, no, I agree. He does definitely look the part like a Johnny Blaze type. Melta Copper, Daredevil was gold. The rest of the Defenders, not so much. Yeah, that's true. And Elektra, most known for getting stabbed over anything epic, her moment was is being shanked. Yeah, true. They could have done that a little bit better, I find.
No, but I love
But that being said, I want to thank everybody that showed up in the chat today. Thank you very much, and let's make 2024 at least better than 2023, or at least try to, and hope to God that things come out better this year. So I want to thank Gap After Dark, buddy. Thank you very much. I hope you had a great Christmas and wonderful New Year. Wendy Trauma Warrior was also here. Resolute Germ, dude, thanks very much for dropping by. Really appreciate it. And Christian Delorme, thank you for that $5 super chat. Really, really appreciate it being my first and everything. Let's see. We also had Melta Copper that was here. Phantom Boomer Explorers as well. Saber the Doom Squirrel also was here. Nice to see you, man. We also had Das Wolfen, and I imagine he's probably still in the chat as well. Melted Copper, I do believe I said that, but I'm going to say it twice. Ray Lucard, also. Hail Ray, nice to see you, man. The Titan, and along with that, we have Wes Cagle, and and everybody's favorite polar bear, Snortopoopus Cuber. So nice to see you, man. So great that you're here. And of course, we have Orville Nation.
Cool.
So Here's hoping for a season 4 of the Orville.
All the best people, Mike. Mike, you got all the best people.
That's right. I try. It's huge audience. Thank you very much. Also,
all the best people
for being here. It was just a huge episode. Awesome episode. I couldn't have done a better episode than all of you being here today. Really appreciate it. So, it was huge. So, Geeky Classic left us some. You got anything that you're going to be doing?
Stuff. No, I have no idea. It's a quiet. I got like one commercial to film, a couple one day of commercials this year, but I'm hoping to get more clientele. I'm looking to try to find investors for a new camera, gimbal, and audio equipment, and then hopefully I can take things seriously. But yeah, it's going to be a better year. And believe it or not, I am changing my eating habits. It's not even a New Year's resolution. It's I need to change my life resolution. So, so time to get serious. So
there you go. Nice.
That's right.
Yeah. I think we did. Yeah. What you were mentioning earlier, at the beginning of the show. Yeah. As we're getting older, we really got to watch.
There's no new New Year's resolution. I'm still procrastinating on all the old ones.
Nice. So you're keeping your New Year resolution on procrastinating.
Yes. Good man.
Because nobody likes an Adolf Quitler. So there we go. Gabe, seeing how this is your first time here, do you have anything that you want to plug or any YouTube channel or any contributions that people should check out?
Sure. If you don't follow along, please, comicalopinions.com. That's our main website where we do reviews every single week on a whole range of different types of comics from all different genres, from a lot of publishers. Obviously, we also have a YouTube channel, so go to Comical Opinions, where I publish a newsletter every week where we talk about the reviews and also hit on at least one op-ed topic of the week of something that's relevant to the comics industry. Also, I'm one of the main contributors to Weird Science DC Comics and Weird Science Marvel Comics. So please follow us on Twitter, follow the websites, and if you're into comic reviews from basically everybody, I don't think there's anybody besides the group that I participate in. I don't think there's anybody that reads and reviews more comics more than anybody else on the planet. I think we're probably the most prolific group that exists. So if you want to know about which publisher is doing what with comics and what's going on in the comics industry, we're the place to be. So please follow along. We'd love to have you.
Sweet.
Check that out. Yes.
And if you got a bunch of links, just send it in the private chat there and share them in the chat for everybody to check out.
Sure.
So
sharing is caring.
That's right. Admiral Teague, you got anything that you want to plug?
Hey, everybody. You know what? Sometimes people might wonder what would happen if we could take an orangutan, give it traumatic brain injury, and have surgery on its throat so that it could have its own YouTube show. We no longer have to wonder. Admiral Teague comes at you live on Tuesdays and Fridays, and sometimes randomly when he feels like it. And I don't know. Appion's having a movie discussion of Logan. I'm always down for a good Patrick Stewart death. It just scintillating when I see him die on screen.
That's a good movie.
There we go.
You know what, guys? Just around the horn here. I've been told that he only dies 3 times on screen because Days of Future Past, the plasma ball doesn't quite hit his head.
Yeah.
Can we call it a roundable 4 deaths then?
I think so.
It's because 3.9. I mean, that plasma bolt's not about to dissipate, is it? I mean, we change what happened, but they delete him in that. I don't know.
It's a pretty good assumed death.
But yes, you no longer have to wonder what would happen if an orangutan was to have traumatic brain injury and have their own YouTube channel. You have Admiral Teague, where I will be back with you on Friday.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And maybe on Thursday, I'll throw you guys a watch along of a Bass Reeves for fun, because I know everybody's been talking about that. Something, maybe some kind of watch along. Yeah.
Pop Culture Republic. What do you got on the docket, my friend?
Oh, let's see. I'm ironing out some outlines for future live streams. I'm settling into a pretty good schedule of Monday and Wednesday evenings, where I continue weaponizing my insomnia.
There we go.
Planning some future things on more nostalgia type streams. Probably going to keep my nostalgia streams to maybe once a week or once every few weeks. Kind of let those leak out slowly. But yeah, settling into a nice schedule and outlining some future shows for what I want to talk about.
Sweet.
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
all looking forward. All's looking well going forward.
There we go.
All we can do is look forward and never look back.
Yes,
that's right. Exactly. And to all of you guys in the chat, check out the description down below. Hopefully I'll put it in at some point because I might have forgotten to put it in. But check out the subscription to Flip City Magazine if you want to check that out. Use the coupon code CRC for 10% off. And if you check them out, they'll even give you a free issue to look over and stuff like that. And also check out the works of Al Nickerson and the former Marvel DC artist, inker extraordinaire, with his independent comic Sword of Eden. It's a good read. Check it out. It's really good. And he has a second book that should be coming out relatively soon, probably in the summer of this year. So that being said, thank you all. Hope you guys had a wonderful new year. And there we go. Now we're gonna have a link to put in for Gabe. Hopefully this is the right link.
Yeah,
so there we go.
Is that the right one? I hope it is.
Hopefully it is. So
that's it.
there we go. So
Yep,
check
yeah.
out Gabe's link. So and check out all the work that he does. Spread a little love and check out all these fine gentlemen on this panel. And to all of you out there, thank you for joining in. Let's have a fun 2024. And
what year is it?
Yeah, I know. I had to think for a second.
It's 2023 4.
4. Yeah, exactly. It's 4. So that's what it is, because now I have to get used to a brand new year and writing that down and all that kind of crap. Yay, hooray, more headaches abound. So
you can write?
I know, amazing, isn't it? So from all of us here on this panel, stay tuned for Frantic Fridays. So we'll end out the week with a bang, same as we always do. And we will see you guys later. So from all of us here,
yes,
have a fun 2024. See ya.
Be safe.
See ya.
Be safe and have a good